So I everyone, um, can we can everyone hear me?
Good afternoon or good morning.
Yeah, good afternoon. Hi Demilade and
Um,
hi Tolu. Hi Jeremy. Hi Nicholas. So we're just waiting for more people to join. Um, yeah,
yeah.
we'll start.
Looks like your voice is low, kind of.
Can others hear me clearly, or is it just my
Um,
mic?
Maybe your mic. It's actually like I can hear you clearly, but like I think I have my volume very close to highest, and usually at this point I will start feeling like yeah, it's to kind of
Sure. So we'll just wait for more people to join and yeah, we'll just start.
okay.
We'll be getting started any moment from now.
They
Um,
send the credibility.
hi, Joseph
Yeah,
Chairman.
what?
So we'll just wait a minute more, and after that, we'll just get started. Hi, Joseph.
Yeah, yeah.
Hi, good afternoon.
Uh, I got your mail.
Okay, so I think in the interest of our time and the time of everyone, I think we can just get started. Um, so hi everyone. I hope our week has been really really good. Because my week was good. My week was great. Um, so today we'll be going over workflow and how you can use it to automate your audience engagement. And at a glance, this is what we'll be covering today. And within 45 minutes to an hour, we should be done. Um, because we don't plan on wasting your time. We know that are very, very precious to businesses and brands, so we don't plan on wasting it. Um, I guess first off, what is Inbranded? Um, Inbranded is a platform. It's a platform for building engagement through personalized images, emails, and automations. We hope to simplify that process for people, and we hope that you know you build engagement basically. You build engagement with your audience. You grow your brand, and like that translates into sales, into I guess more revenue. Depending on what your business goal is. And with personalized images, you can actually generate, um, or you can create campaigns where people can generate attendee badges, speaker badges, other kind of badges, and share on social media. So as they begin to share it, their friends see it, get interested, get to know what your brand is. They generate and also share it. Before we know, the viral goes out, and everyone knows about your brand. That's one method of engagement. The second method of engagement is through emails. You send emails to your audience or to subsets of your audience based on certain criteria or segments. And the third one is through automation. You basically automate your audience engagement process. For example, say there's a Google form. You fill in a Google form and you send this person a response email. You notify your team on Slack. Maybe you send this person a WhatsApp message. Wait a week from now and do some other things. That's what automation allows for. And again, this is just going over how Branded enables um, engagement. Again, personalized image. Enable your audience to generate and share personalized images for your events, brands, or other campaigns. For emails, you design and send beautiful looking emails that achieve optimal conversion. And with automation, you simply escape the operational L by automating your audience engagement process so you can focus on other aspects of your business. So, what we'll be talking about today is is automation. That's with workflow. Basically, with workflow, you automate your audience engagement process. I guess the first question um, you would ask is why? Why workflow? Like, why is this interesting, to anyone? Well, it's simple. Well, audience engagement is actually very, very hard to do well. It requires technical infrastructure and engineering resources just to get the most basic thing going. It's operationally heavy. It takes a lot of time and resource to undertake, and a lot of brands simply conclude that it's beyond their efforts. Let me give you an example. Say you run a store on Shopify. Um, Constant people visit your store. People can subscribe to your newsletter. People can go to your store, add an item to the cart. Um, More times than none, what you want is once someone adds an item to the cart, the person should follow through by making a purchase. Um, but more times than none, what ends up happening is that this person doesn't make a purchase and actually drops off. Um, and what the team ends up having to do is to actually look at the abandoned information and actually follow up. Another example could be maybe you're selling an ebook, um, and you want people to pre-sign up for the book. 2 months before that, you create a website, create a form, people pre-sign up, people send in their email address. Awesome. Then, like a week before the site, you need to get in touch with everyone. You need to start calling everyone. Maybe not call, but like get in touch. You need to start following up with everyone. And on the launch, people are expected to make payments and whatnot. People go there, they show interest. I guess they add cards, but like a certain percentage of people like another percentage does not pay. So what do you do? Again, you have to start to follow up. You have to start to call. You have to start to do some other things. Just to get them engaged and actually get them meet your goal, which in this case is actually I guess purchasing the ebook. So it's really, really hard to do. These two examples I've given are actually even the trivial ones. Like a bigger example could be maybe you're running like a SaaS platform, and you have like you want to build a very, very good onboarding experience for everyone. And like at the top of the funnel is people signing up for interest. Um, for interest in your platform or in what the platform does. At the bottom of the funnel is actually people converting to paid users by either paying a one-time fee, paying a subscription fee, or something. Um, Now there's a lot of processes that goes in between getting this person from the top of the funnel to the bottom of the funnel. A lot of times people tend to drop off in between that, mostly because the engagement process is not quite there yet. Um, you know, people fill in an interest form, then from there, someone else to reach out to them, then book a meeting to go over, what the platform does, and from there, get this person to set up an account, get this person to set up an account, get this person to try out the platform. From there, you follow up, get feedback from this person. Then is this person really, really interested? What's the feedback? Does this person have a positive experience? Then start thinking about, getting this person to use it on a more practical basis. If it's a negative experience, follow up and get the feedback and revert to the team, get the team to fix the issue, then revert back to the customer to make sure that this customer is engaged. So it's really, really hard to do. And like it takes a lot of people, it takes a lot of resource to actually get it done. And a lot of brands tend to conclude that is beyond their efforts. Um, so how do we solve this problem? Well, it's through personalized engagement and branding. And the idea here is you escape operational error by automating your audience engagement process. You achieve great conversion and customer experience that usually cost millions of dollars for 1/20th of that price. That's the power of automation. You basically automate things. Whatever the thing, whatever is repetitive, simply get the system to do it, while you simply focus on working on building a better structure, building a better process, and connecting with your audience, and just generally making general improvements into your in your process. So how do we solve this problem? Well, it's simple. Automation or workflow with Inbranded is works on a trigger and action basis. With a trigger, it's when something happens, and with the action, just do this. For example, when someone fills in your Google form, do this sequence of actions. When someone makes a payment on the site, do this sequence of actions. When someone does something else, do these things. And that's basically how automation works. And we have a couple of triggers. An example triggers, for example, could be when a new audience is on your account, when an audience is added to a segment, on my audience's birthday, when an audience enters my campaign, or even when a webhook is called. There are a lot more triggers, but like these are just examples. Um, then we can add actions. The action could be send an email to this person. The action could be generate and deliver a customized image or badge to this person. The action could be add to or remove this person from a segment. Another action could be add this person to your Excel sheets or to your Google Sheets. Another action could be notify your team on Slack. Another action could be post on Facebook, things like that. Their triggers and their actions. And in between that, there are times where we would want to actually just delay things until a particular period of time. Then we have like we have delays. You can actually add delays for hours, days, or weeks, or even until certain days or until a certain date. And you can add conditions that basically personalizes or even like sort of like breaks down the funnel into or breaks down people into like different actions based on like their prior actions, or like based on certain criterias. For example, um you have a workflow, you have an automation for onboarding people. You wouldn't want to be sending a welcome email or like an email convincing this person to use this platform when this person is already a paying customer. For a paying customer, what is more important is not to churn, to make sure that they're actually using it and actually making the most of this feature. That's what paying customers are more interested in, as opposed to trying to convince them to try out this feature. Um, yeah, so using conditions, you can basically segment segments people, and have a more personalized experience. And people, based on their conditions, will get into different actions, um, all to make the engagement flow, so to speak. And yeah, delightful personalized customer experience. You set personalized communications to your customers based on the actions on their site, the location, and other data sources. You choose when to send an email to them. You can even skip public message, public holidays, weekends, if it's not ideal. You can send personalized designs to the right person and with the right message to your customers. You can set up simple and complex workflows, that execute tasks based on your audience and external data. You can utilize you can utilize variables, to deliver more personalized experience to them. You can integrate multiple communication channels, from like emails, from like graphics, SMS, WhatsApp, and pretty much integrate other services through an API. You can start the data source through a webhook, form, manual data entries, and whatnot. And this is what the workflow builder looks like. It's quite easy to use. You can trigger the workflow, through agents, through a segment, your webhook, you have delays, you can send emails, you can generate batches, you can add conditions, you can personalize things by adding complex conditions. And these are some of the use cases. Some of the use cases are like sales and marketing. You can use it for building a sales funnel. You can actually use it for lead conversion. You can use it for Google Form autoresponder. You can use it for like abandoned sales follow-up. You can use it to offer upsell or cross-sell to your audience. You can use it for employee onboarding or engagement. Um, you can use it for employee birthday. You can use it for customer onboarding. You can use it for customer birthday. Um, and it cuts across a lot of industries from healthcare, from travel and tourism, from sales and organization, from financial services, HR, entertainment, retail, and so on. It cuts across a lot of these industries. Yeah. So it cuts across a lot of these industries. Um, yeah, without wasting much of our time, we'll quickly do a very, very quick demo um, of a use case a typical business would have. Then we would go over the kind of workflow, we would build for it, and we would basically see the results in action. Um, so I'm going to share my a different tab of a different workflow that was created, and I'll paint out the scenario, and we'll see how it goes. So the scenario we have here is we want to do something interesting whereby we're going to we're going to or something engaging where everyone in this webinar would actually be involved in. So what we're going to do is um there's a Google form, fairly created for just people that are here. And we're simply going to go into the Google form and actually fill in our details. And what is going to happen is that once you fill in your details, you'd actually get a special badge created just for you, customized with your name and your image if we already have it. That is going to be delivered to your email. Um, and after that, it's going to notify our team on Slack that someone actually joined. A couple of people joined this webinar. And after that, we're going to add you to a segment where we can actually track people that attended this webinar. And from there, we're going to send another email thanking you for joining this webinar and asking you to pre-sign up for workflow if you have not already done so. This is like a very, very typical process brands and businesses would actually have, where they just need to like just already like a planned out process for it. Um, just of like just I guess getting people to start the journey. Then from there, like this, with the goal of into a converting them. And I'm going to talk through what this workflow looks like and how we actually build it and the thought process behind it. So first things first, as I said previously, the workflow it works based on a trigger and an action. So the trigger we have in this case is yeah. So we'll take questions at the end once we go through this demo. So the trigger we have is on a Google form response. That's the trigger we have on a Google form response. So and the idea here is simple. Once people come and visit this Google form, like it's a super simple form, nothing complicated here, just your email address and your name. Once people visit, or once you enter this your email address and your name, the idea here is you would automatically be added into this workflow immediately. Um, and so we have our triggers on a Google form response. So once that happens, we need to choose our form. And I've already configured it to this particular form, the workflow webinar attendee form, which is this one here. And the next thing is I want to map my Because he has two fields, the name and actually just the email address. I automatically take this to indicate that this form is collecting email address. So we don't need to map the email address. However, for the name field, I want to map it to the name field in my audience list. So I actually do this, I map it. But let's say I was using like a split form where the first name and the last name are in two different fields. Then we can do something like this. We'll split it. We'll select the first name field and we'll select the last name field. But in this case, I'm simply using a single field. So I just select this. Your I'll select your name field, and that's pretty much it. Well, prior to this, I actually connected my Google Form account this to my branded account, so I can actually search all my forms and whatnot. Um, so the next thing is generate and deliver a badge to generate and deliver an image to an audience. And it's basically an action that was added, and the action is generate and deliver an image. I guess I can just delete this back. The action is generate and deliver an image. And once you select this, the next thing is to actually choose a design. Guess I can remove this design and show the process again. You remove the design, or we can edit the design. In this case, this is really what the design just looks like. Something very, very simple with an avatar and your name. Very simple. Nothing crazy here. So after selecting the design, the next thing is to actually pass in what we want to be used in the avatar and what we want to be used in the name field. Now, the trigger already provides output fields for us to be able to copy any one of these things and use it as an input in the next steps. So I'm going to copy the name of this person, basically what this person enters here in your name field, and I'm going to send it into the image for it to be generated. I simply will use this, or I can simply just use the name field because this workflow is is based on an audience. So like, I can simply just use the name field and maybe not even rely on the form. Either option works. Then the next thing is to actually choose the email or choose the content of the email that will be associated when it's being sent to this person. Um, I've already chosen an email which was pre-composed prior to this, so I'll just show us what it looks like. And this is what the email looks like. Again, very very simple. Hey, first name. Here is your badge for attending the workflow webinar. Please find it attached. And in case you have not signed up as a beta user, sign up using the link below, and it contains a link to our sign up form for the workflow. And that's what the email is. Very very simple. Then the next thing, we just add our subject and we add a preview text, and that's pretty much it for that step. Then the next one is we want we want I want our team to be notified internally when someone actually fills in this form. Um, just as simple as that, they should be notified on Slack, and because we use Slack for conversation. And again, it's just another action. And we choose the action, send a message to Slack. Again, this requires integrating your Slack account into the into Inbranded, which I've already done previously. Um, and once I choose the action, send a Slack message, the next thing is I need to choose the channel. And these are all the channels that are available. So I simply just choose one, which is the workflow webinar attendee. And the message I want to be sent to this channel is, hey channel, new attendee in the workflow webinar. And this is the person's name with the person's email address. This and that is what I want to be sent to Slack and to this channel. Then after that, I want to add this person to a segment called webinar attendee. And the idea here is we would want to target people that attended the webinar. Maybe we have a promo. maybe you have something going on. We just want to target them, everyone inside a segment, um, that we can use for later. Then add an action. You know, the action is add an audience to segment, and I choose the segment. And the next thing is I want to wait for a day and actually send this person a thank you email for attending. I want to send this person an email, thanking them for attending the webinar. I had a delay, and the delay is going to be for one day. Then the next thing is um, I had another email. This email is going to thank them, for attending the webinar, and also again asking them to pre-sign up if they've not already done so. Again, we add action, um, and again we choose the action, send an email to the audience, and from there we choose the email, which is this. Again, we see it. The email is very, very simple. A first name or there. Thank you for attending the workflow webinar. In case you haven't signed up as a beta user, please sign up using the link below. And that's just it. Again, very, very simple. Nothing complicated going on here. Now that the email is going to be sent with the subject A first name. Thank you for attending the webinar. And the preview test is basically the same thing. And this is a very, very simple flow. Um, and right now we would actually see how it works in practice, and would actually try it out here. It should actually be interesting because I'll share the link on the chat, and we should all just go in, just fill in the form, and like we should all get the email. And yeah, this should be very, very fun. So now that I'm done creating the workflow, adding all the necessary steps, the next thing is to publish it. And again, publishing is very, very simple. And this is basically it. And this is basically it. The workflow is published successfully. Now that the workflow is published, we can see um, we can just see the node summary, and we can also see the notes and whatnot, and we can see the stats on the people, on the number of people that have actually been engaged in this workflow. So the one thing I want us to just quickly do at this point is to just go in and fill in this Google form. And yeah, it should be fun for us to see the results of filling in this. So I'm just going to post a link very quickly into the chat, and I'll give us a minute or two to actually go in and fill in the form. So the link is in the chat now. So we can just take a moment to fill in the form, and yeah, from there we'll see the results of of this workflow, and we'll take in more questions and answers. So I just take a moment now. Give us like a minute to quickly fill it, and yeah, we'll come back and take questions and answers. Okay. So yeah, that is a minute gone. Um, that is a minute gone, and yeah, I was just refreshing just to see, and apparently like seven people have simply just filled in the form right now, and you see that seven people have actually been added automatically to the workflow. Um, yeah, just by filling the form. That's basically, you know, what it's that's basically what is happening here. You know, people just fill in the form and they automatically get added. And once they get added, you know, the next thing is they're going to receive this email with this badge generated for them and sent as an attachment in that email. And not long after, our team is going to be notified on Slack. And this person is going to be added to this segment, you know, and by tomorrow, you'll receive a final email. Um, thanking you for attending this webinar. And this is just a very quick and short demo of what the workflow can do. There's a lot more. There's a lot more to it, but I think this is a lot of information just to show what it can do. Um, I guess I'll throw it open right now to everyone. You know, what are your thoughts? Do you have questions? You know, is there anything you'd like to find out about this? Um, so I guess I'll throw it open. Um, yeah, question anyone?
Hello, hello everyone.
Hi, Michael.
Um, okay. Well done. Yeah. My question is very simple. I was just going to ask that, how did you actually get to the builder? Yeah, like yeah, we started off from the builder actually. So I was just going to ask, how do you kind of initiate creating a workflow in the first place?
Oh, that's an interesting question, Michael. Yeah. So I guess I'll start from the home page and we'll work our way through to creating a workflow. This is what the home page looks like. The next thing we want to do is to go to the workflows page. Depending on the so at this point in time, the workflow is at a very early access. It's currently in a closed beta state with an early access. I guess with an early access sort of where we are onboarding people gradually to be able to access the workflow. So like if it's not something that you already can access, you'll most likely see a screen showing you our workflow video along with a link asking you to pre-sign up on workflow. But like if you already have access to it, then you see this where you see the list of workflows and you can actually create a new one. Um, to create a new workflow, I simply just click on this button, create workflow. I can give my workflow a name. I'll just call it demo workflow, and I'll just add a description called demo workflow. And the workflow has been created successfully. And now it takes us to the builder. And the next thing is we start to customize things. You know, um, we choose what our trigger would be in this case, or in the previous one, it was actually a Google form response. You know, I choose a Google form response. Then from there, I choose my Google form among all of this. Maybe I'll choose this one. And then from there, I simply just map the name field. And from there, I start to add action. I start to add conditions. I start to add delays. And that's basically how it works. Like it's something that in like less than 5 minutes you're up and running. You go from having like little experience about the workflow to basically like creating a standard workflow, a professional workflow, and that is running and that is serving your business or your team very well. And yeah, does that answer your question, Michael?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Um, thanks, Michael, for the question. It was very interesting. Any questions from anyone else? I guess,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Go ahead, please,
I
Michael.
was okay. I was just going to ask, like, are there some sort of limits, to let's say maybe the number of audience I can actually like like maybe I have, let's say I have 1,000 audience. Like, what's the limit? Do I have limits, and all that? Like, to the number of audience I can engage through workflow.
Again, a very, very interesting question by Michael. No, we do not set a limit to how many number of people you can engage. We do not. It's yeah, you can engage as much people as your business requires. We would simply support you and basically grow with you and increase our capacity if it's beyond what we can handle. We'll definitely do that.
Oh wow, yeah. Thank you very much for the answer.
Thank you, Michael. And yeah, and an interesting I actually just got some notifications on Slack about a couple of people filling in um a couple of people filling in the workflow attendee form. Basically, a new attendee in this workflow from Michael with the email address and his email. And I see another one a channel new attendee in the workflow webinar from Shegun with the email, and it shows the email. And this is really, really powerful. Like, we can really build like a lot of complex flows. You can say that you'll do something like, what, for the next 7 days, start sending emails consistently to this person that to this person that's to this person that fills in your form, or like that does this. So just keep sending emails, and within those 7 days, if this person converts to like a paid customer, then the next thing is we simply just stop the process, and that's just it. Or maybe we just start another process entirely. Once that happens, the way we would simply do something like that is we would add a delay, for a day. We'll add another action. The action could be send this person an email. You can even decide that, you know what, you'd you notify your team on Slack as well. You add another action, send a message on Slack. And after that, you can simply check, is this person a paid customer? If that's like the condition you're going with, something like its audience in a segment, then from there you can simply just check, is this person in this segment? I guess I can just choose one of the segments we have here. Um, I guess I can just choose this one. Um, is this person in this segment? And if this person is there, then maybe like that's the goal for this person to actually, like, say, make a payment. Then, like, there's another workflow that automatically added this person to this segment, and that's just it. Then we don't need to do anything else if this person has made payment. Or maybe we just say, like, we send another email thanking this person or something like that. We can do that, but we can also say that, you know what, we want to keep sending this email for the next say 5 days, and yeah, hopefully within these 5 days this person converts. And if after 5 days this person does not convert, then we know that we need to give this person a call. Then the next thing, we'll simply just add a delay for a day. Then we can simply just use this link feature to send this person back to this step, and the loop just continues for the next 5 days. So after delaying for a day, we simply just, I guess, let me do this, send email to audience. I'll just call it that so I can identify it. And we link it to send email to audience. And it means that once this person gets here, this person is going to be sent back to this step, and this person continues this flow, gets here, and is sent back to this step, continues this flow, gets here, and is sent back. But in between all of this, if this person ends up um, performing an action that gets this person added to the segment, then it just stops. And like, this person is sent an email, yeah, and the workflow just ends. So like, this is just another thing we can do. and it's really really powerful. And yeah, it's really really interesting because it just makes sure that like a lot of the processes that would manually have to be done by maybe a data operator, a data entry person, or something like that, or someone in that position. A lot of this is actually automatically done. So people like that. So I guess people and I guess businesses and work and brands can simply focus on like discussing strategies, working on strategies, building, trying to find other ways to actually like improve their process, and I guess grow their business or grow their brand. And this is the power of workflow. This is what workflow can do for you. Um, yeah, I guess any final questions, anything from anyone before we wrap up today? Okay, well, since that's I'll just get here. So this is the demo, and again, this is just Q&A, which Michael had some very interesting questions, which I think was very very interesting, and it was fun for us to answer. And yeah, so this is yeah. Before we do this, we actually have as I mentioned, workflow is currently in a in a I guess early access stage, whereby we are onboarding new people every day, every week to try out the platform before we finally like take it into a beta mode later this year. So we have a form where we want people to fill in where um people to fill in to indicate their interest. And once they actually do that, a member of the team is actually going to reach out to them to to follow up and get them onboarded. So I'm just going to share the link in the chat very quickly, and after that we'll simply just wrap up. Um, yeah. So I've shared the link in the chat. We can all just go there, pre-sign up for it, and yeah, a member of the team is actually going to reach out to us to get us onboarded. Um, I guess before we end today, though, I'd say a special thank you to the team that actually worked on this, to the dev team, to the UI team, to the content guys, to the marketing guys, to the account managers we have on the team, to pretty much everyone that was actually involved in this process. Thank you to every one of them. Yeah, we look forward to I guess serving our users better, and making sure that they can actually make the most of their engagement. And yeah, I guess before we end, do like any final words, anything to add from anyone? Um, I guess I see a couple of team members here. Anything to add from you guys before we end?
Okay. Yeah. I would just say that you have actually done justice to like everything, like yeah, every blessed thing. Like to our customers, what I would just like to say is that this demo actually shows how powerful workflow is and how simple, like you can just get to do things like really 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 easy, like, and within minutes. Yeah, sometimes before you can engage your customers, you have to do a lot of work and all that. But here, you just have your audience list, of which you can even upload it from anywhere, like from a CSV file, anywhere. Like the people, in fact, let's just say people like, let's say even a common, like like a regular odd like filling orders, like, oh, let's say you just sell something, like let's say a shoe, like then you just look at your contact and be like, oh, these are the guys that have actually bought shoes from me. Like you can just pick all these contacts, bring it to him branded, then before you know it, you can start sending messages to them. You can start reaching out to them. Like automate it. Like in a way, you can get anything up and running. If you have their birthdays, you can put it in. On their birthday, they get it. Some will be like, wow, from just buying shoe. Like this is how you just engage your customers, and before you know it, they just stick to you. Like the idea is they stick to you. People buy shoe every day. I'm just using something very simple as an example. They buy shoe every day. Like they want to buy from you because wow, how did this person even do it? Like, yeah, so like it's super powerful. And even apart from us getting the knowledge, it is what reaching out to even our friends. Maybe you have friends in the design sector, small business, no matter how small anybody's business is. You have someone, your friend is selling let's say clothes. Someone has boutique. When they come in, um that is you bringing some sort of wisdom, fresh idea to your own business. Somebody bought, let's say they came to your store, they bought shoe. You don't have a website, fine, you can just say, please let me have your contact. Yeah, I'd like to reach out to you. You see that most customers will give you their contact. You bring it to Inbranded, you automate everything. Before you know it, they want to come back. Yeah, so that's just what it is. And yeah, thank you everyone, and thank you to the presenter. He has done like a perfect job. Yeah, thank you everyone. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Michael. And I think
Yeah, you're
that
welcome.
brings, yeah. So yeah, that brings us to the end of this webinar session. Again, thank you to everyone for joining. Thank you, Kemi. Thank you, Uche. Thank you, Michael. For participating. Thank you, Toluwani. Thank you, Mojola. Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you, Jeremiah. And I guess for people that will be watching this sometime in the near future on YouTube, thank you to you guys for also watching and connecting with us. So yeah, have a great day, everyone. Bye.
Yeah, all right, bye.